Let go on a adventure to get her, we'll have a lot of fun. We'll climb the highest mountain because we can. We'll walk through the woods because we can. We'll walk along the shore because we can. So let's go on adventure and we will have a lot of fun indeed. So let's go on adventure. Let go, let go, let go, let go on adventure today. Let go on adventure to get her. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll climb the highest mountain big. This is a story about two kids that were best friends, a boy and a girl. They known each other since they were 8, and they liked solving mysteries together, and they were very smart. David said to the police officer, "What did happen here?" The police officer said, "A jewelry robbery happened, and it's none of your business, and I want you two kids to stay out." David said, well, we want to investigate. We want to help you." The police officer said, "Stay out and go and run, play, and do things that kids do." Sarah was invited over to David's house, and David and Sarah basically discussed what to do about the mystery over the jewels. Sarah said to David, "Do you have any idea who would steal the jewels?" David said, "Maybe it's the Birdman. I found this statue out where the jewelry robbery was taking place." Sarah said, "Let's see it. It looks interesting." "It does look like something to do with the Birdman. Maybe we should go investigate." David said to his dad, "Me and Sarah are going to go out for a bit." David's dad said, "Be back for dinner, 'cause I'm going to make your favorite pizza." David said, "Alright, pizza." David and Sarah were at the train station, and David bought 2 tickets to go to Forest Hills. The next thing they did is they got on the train. Sarah said to Chris, "Leave David alone." Chris said, "I will not leave him alone." And then Chris pushed David off the train. Sarah said, "You're not going to get away with this." Chris said to Sarah, "It's your turn now." Sarah said, "You're not going to get away with it here." Chris said, "Oh, we have. Bye, Sarah." Chris said, "That takes care of that. Now to call the Birdman and tell him we got rid of them." David said to Sarah, "Are you okay?" Sarah said, "Yeah, I'm okay." David said, "How about we swim ashore?" Sarah said, "That's a good idea." David said to Sarah, "Why would Chris do that?" Sarah said, "Maybe he works for the Birdman." David said, "Maybe you're right. Where do we go now, Sarah?" Sarah said, "How about we keep on walking along here and maybe we'll find someone will help us." Do 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 do. Sarah said to David, "Do you know where we are?" David said, "We're in a cave." Sarah said, "I knew that. I meant, where are we on a map?" David said, "I don't know." Sarah said, "Where should we go?" David said, "How about we keep on wandering deeper in the cave?" Sarah said, "Okay." David said, "What's this? A treasure chest? What is this, a Legend of Zelda?" Sarah said, "How about you open it up?" David said, "Okay, I'll open it up." Sarah said to David, "What is it?" David said, "It's a key." Sarah said, "What does it mean?" David said, "I don't know, but I think the rain has stopped." Sarah said, "Okay, let's go." The man said, "If you want to ride the boat, it's $10. David said, "That per person?" The man said, "Yeah, it is." So David and Sarah gave the man the money. David said to Sarah, "Are you singing?" David said, "Yeah, I am singing." David said, "I like to hear you sing. Can you sing louder?" Sarah said, "Okay." These times we spend together mean the world to me. As you get older and I get older too, we'll still like spending time with each other because I really like you and I like you a lot more. Sarah said to David, "Where do we go now?" David said, "I think we keep on walking this path." Sarah said, "I think I know where we go. Isn't there like some kind of castle where the Birdman lives?" David said, "I think you're right, Sarah, yeah." David says to Sarah, "Is that the castle you think the Birdman lives in?" Sarah said, "I think that is him. Let's go in." David said, "Yeah." Do 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 do. The Birdman said to David, said, "You traveled very far to get here." David said, "Let us have the jewel." The Birdman said, "I would like to see you try to get them off me." Do 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 do. Sarah said to David, "Do you think he'll escape?" David said, "No, I don't think he'll escape. Let's look for the jewel, and then after that we can call the police and leave." David said, "There's the jewel, so let's call a call and let's leave." Sarah said, "That's a good idea." The police arrived at the castle and read the note saying, "This person's been captured by the detective kids." And the police officer said, "Oh God, not them again." So he took Mr. Birdman, put him on arrest, and took him off to jail. David's dad said to David, "You're a bit late." David said, "You wouldn't believe the day we had." David's dad said, "What did you do?" David said, "Oh, you wouldn't believe it if we told you." David's dad said, "Okay, let's eat." Sarah was invited over to David's house for dinner. Afterwards, they hanged out in David's room. Sarah said to David, "I'm glad we got Birdman. I'm sure the police will thank us." David said, "Yeah, it's good we finally got him." That's good. But it's been quite a day. Sarah said, "Yeah, it's been quite a day." It was basically time for Sarah to go home, so she said goodbye to David, said goodbye, David. David said goodbye to Sarah. Let's go on a adventure together, we'll have a lot of fun. We'll climb the highest mountain because we can. We'll walk through the woods because we can. We'll walk along the shore because we can. So let's